Hello. Today I want to show you a new way I figured out to create instrument tracks in Pro Tools with one click. To do so, I'm relying on track presets. So I hope you're familiar with track presets. When you create a new track in Pro Tools, you can go select here instead of audio track. You can go to your track presets user, right? If you create your own track presets, you might want to sort them like this. So here I'm talking about instruments. So I created an instrument folder, right, for my track preset. You see, it's kind of like hard to go here. There you go. Now you'll see that I have the name of my presets here, right? So navigating all this with Keyboard Maestro and maybe a Streamdeck, it's kind of not that easy. Now, I was kind of wondering, is there a better way? I figured out that if you go to your Finder, you can find your track presets. So your track presets are located on your own hard drive, right? In your I think in your Documents folder. If you go to your Pro Tools folder, you're going to find your track presets folder. Now in there, you find your user folder. And in here, I created an instruments folder and I have a few presets, right? You see they're called PTXP, Pro Tools Track Preset Files. So what I figured is that instead of going through the whole menu, you can actually click and drag a preset into Pro Tools. When you let go, let me cancel this. Of course, that didn't work. When you click and drag into Pro Tools will create a track and recall that track preset. So now I have the Analog Lab, for example, here. So if I press record, I should hear some kind of sound, right? So same thing, let's do it again. If I go to my Finder, I'm in my instrument subfolder with my track preset. I can drag my Mellotron here, right? So that creates a Mellotron track, right? So now what I try to figure out is how do I put that on my Streamdeck? So on my Streamdeck, I have a whole new, let me show you this. If I go to configure my Streamdeck, I created not a folder, but I created a profile called inst, right? So this profile will contain my buttons to go look for those presets. So let's take a look at the Mellotron, for example. The Mellotron, I like to use MIDI notes to trigger between the Streamdeck and Keyboard Maestro. So you'll notice that here at the bottom, I'm using MIDI channel 7, MIDI note 121 for the Mellotron, and I'm using inside my computer what's called the IAC driver bus. If you look at my other videos, you'll see I explain that too. But here basically, this is an internal MIDI bus that goes from the Streamdeck to Keyboard Maestro, and that just sends a MIDI note, right? So the MIDI note is actually an action that I found a long time ago here, MIDI button, right? So that's MIDI button, it's just MIDI note. So this is what this button is. So when I press that button on my Streamdeck, it's going to send note 121 on channel 7 to my Keyboard Maestro, right? So let's bring out Keyboard Maestro here. So let's take a look. Let's look for our Mellotron instrument. So here, right, it's called Mellotron instrument. It will be triggered by this MIDI note, note 121 on channel 7 from the IAC driver bus, which is the one that I selected in Streamdeck application, right? Now here's how this works. First, I will activate the Finder. Then I will clear the Finder with the, I guess it's Option Command W. That closes all the windows. because what I want to do is actually open the window that contains my instruments folder, right? Now, I'd like to use pauses in Keyboard Maestro because I find out that sometimes I feel like sometimes the computer gets kind of a bit overwhelmed. It's nice to have little breaks in here. Now, this is the important part also here. I use the function that's called reveal file, right? So this will open a new Finder window and highlight my file. Now, the important part's going to be, how do I know the address of that file, right? So I was showing you my instrument folder here. If I, in this case of the Mellotron, if I right-click on the Mellotron, right, nothing happens. There's nowhere here I can see what is the path, right? I'm looking for the path, the file path. But if I hold the Option key, right? So here, this is the, kind of the thing to know. If you right click, you hold the Option key, you'll see that right in the middle here, it says copy mellotron.ptxp as path name. This is, right click, hold Option, and go here. Now in the memory, I get the path name. This is what I'm going to use to reveal that file, right? So my macro will open the Finder, clear the Finder, like close all the windows, right? Open the Finder window with that file. Then what I did is I used the function that says resize window, right? So here I can resize, actually I wanted to change this to like 50 pixels. So when I open that window in the Finder, I don't want the window to be kind of like super big or something like that, because I will want to drag out of it into Pro Tools, right? So what I did is something that kind of resizes the window to something pretty small, right? 50 by 50, right? I have a little pause again. Then I do this. I move my mouse and it says just move. That's pretty important for now. I found, for me, that's kind of what works right now. To the found image. Now, the thing that I looked is like on my computer, what makes a difference between that selected file that I just opened or revealed and my other presets, as you can see, I can do it manually, is that the icon here is surrounded by an orange glow, right? So this is how I can say, I'm going to search for that icon, right? So I took a picture on my computer. It's Control Option Command 4. And this is what I put here. You can see the picture here, right? So I'm moving the mouse here. And I also tell my computer in the window with title Instruments, because I know that's the name of my window here. So inside that window, I go, I move, and then here is the final move. Click, right, on that where I add the current mouse location, because I moved the mouse, then I'm clicking there, and then I say drag to, and I drag it down 300 pixels. So what it's going to do is going to go click, drag down a bit, and let go. By the time we drag down, right, it's going to bring us to Pro Tools, right? Normally Keyboard Maestro is not there. All right, so let's try this. Now I'm going to press in my Streamdeck on the Mellotron. It opens, clears, goes, drags down, and then in Pro Tools, it creates a track. Right? So what I did now is I have on my Streamdeck, a few instruments, right? I noticed I was, this works. Let me delete those tracks here. Even if I have tracks, I didn't really track with a lot of stuff, but let's say I have 16 tracks of audio here. So my window is full of audio tracks, right? I can go kind of anywhere, and I'm going to say, okay, Minimoog. Press this here, and Pro Tools creates a track with a Minimoog. If I go to my mix window, I can be kind of, I would not maybe hover the mouse over my tracks right? Let me close maybe my track list. I go here, I'm going to say I want a piano. So I press piano. It goes, drags the piano, and here's my Piano 5 by Arturia track, right? So now I can go like that. I want an ARP 2600. There you go. And why not a Prophet 5? There you go. So it takes, a second. A DX7 Rhodes. And maybe a Hammond B3. So this is a quick way to reveal in the Finder your file, your instrument, Pro Tools. Once again, this is called a Pro Tools track preset file, right? And then if you, associate that to a Streamdeck profile here, you can just, with the press of one button on the Streamdeck, create a new instrument in Pro Tools with one click.